G'day guys, welcome to another Smash a Pad episode. Is that what we call it? You want to call it an episode? Sure, why not? Okay, so I'm still smashing for, this is the second 6x6 paper pad in the series that we're doing. This one is called, this is the Craft Consortium 6x6 paper pad, and it's called Ink Drops Candy. That's what the paper pad's called. And I'm trying to, with this series, I'm trying to get you to look at your papers a little bit differently. So we all know by looking at this that it's obviously ink drops. That's what it is. But by adding the gold foil, it sort of adds another element. Now, the main reason, it will become obvious why I did this as I go through. We all know that I love a little bit of bling, okay? Whether that comes in the form of sprinkles, whether that comes, whether that's sequins, whether that's diamantes, whether that's glitter. I love me some shimmer and shine. I can do pages without it. I did do one last week without it, but I'm just letting you know that I love me some shimmer. So what I wanted to do with this paper, this particular layout, I wanted to add some gold to it. Now, don't worry, I'm not shaking that on the floor. If you're new to my channel, I have a bin off to my left-hand side. And when you see things disappear off to the left-hand side, I'm not throwing them on the floor. I am just dropping them into my bin. Now, anyone that has used gold foiling at all knows it can be seriously messy. And I just have to say, I was trying to keep it contained. As you can see by it blowing, I had my fan on because today's a pretty typical summer Queensland day. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. It's not. It's warm, but it's not ridiculous, and it's not super humid. See what I just did then? I thought I would do that to speed this process up a little bit more for you guys. And believe me, it's a mistake because it just gets everywhere, because instead of being patient and doing it slowly, I thought I would speed it up. That way you guys aren't watching me gold foil for hours. But it ended up everywhere. So it's okay. I have cleaned it up, and hopefully we don't have too much gold foil appearing in the next 3 or 4 videos. Now, see, look, it just magically reappears and it's all dusted off. So this gold foil I actually got from Kmart. So if you're an Aussie, I don't know, do Kiwis have Kmart? I'm not sure. Kel, let me know if you guys have Kmart. If not, I know here in Australia we have Kmart. I know you have Kmart over in the US, but I don't know if your Kmart and ours is the same, because I know your Target is very different. We don't have food in our Target out here. So I'm not going to just blanket say go to Kmart and get it, because, it's different in different countries. Now, if you can hear something walking around, if you can hear tip tap, that's because I have 2 chihuahuas in here with me. And Taylor she is actually in the room with me at the moment. And say something, Taylor. Say hi.
Hi.
Just in case that seemed a little bit weird, but so she was playing with Gizmo, and he's not impressed because I said, I need to do my voiceover, so you need to stop playing for just 1 minute. So actually 22 minutes and 24 seconds. But anyway, but I digress. Okay, so now what I've managed to do, so with this particular, don't mind me on my phone, I did not realize that was actually in shot. So I apologize about that. And what I was actually doing is, I know these 4 are the exact same piece of paper. So in this particular paper pad, you get 4 of the same prints. Okay. So by me adding the foil, it makes them look a little bit, just slightly different. Some have a little bit more foil and some have a little bit less. The reason I wanted to do that is because I didn't want it, I don't like a flat layout all the time. sometimes I like to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I cut these into 2-inch strips. So it's a 6x6 paper pad. Now I did muff up one of these. I have left the mistake in here. You guys can see how I fix it. Because that's what I do. I put all my wares out there, and you know, that's what it is. That's what we do here. So I've gone through it and I've put the foil on everything. All good. Then what I've done is I've cut them into 2-inch strips, and then I like to use my guillotine because it's very precise and you get it bang on every time. This is a Creative Memories one that is old. I've had it for a gazillion years and it just keeps going. It's a self-sharpening one and I absolutely love it. Now, I've gone through and I've cut these, and I think it was that one there that I just cut. For some reason, it's not quite right. I don't know what I did, but then I've gone through with some black. I've cut some 2-inch black strips, and what I'm actually doing on this layout, I'm scrapbooking some photos of when Jennifer decided last year, 2022, that she was going to spend some of her birthday and or Christmas money. She squirrels coin like you've got no idea. That kid will spend every last cent in my bank account, but none out of her own. That's just how it is. However, she wanted a pair of Converse shoes. Now, we used to call them Chuck Taylors back in the day because, you know, I'm ancient, but now we either call them Connies. I've never heard someone call them Connies. Or what does she call them? They're my Converse high tops. That's what Jen calls them. So that's what I used for the title. Now, I'm cutting some papers into triangles because I'm creating pretty much and I had to concentrate while I was doing this, and that's why I put it all down to start with. Because see, right there I made a mistake. So basically what I'm trying to do, it's kind of like a quilting pattern, a triangular quilting pattern. The reason I'm doing that on this one is because I'm trying to create a star in the center. But I didn't want to do a starburst because, you know, we're sick of seeing those. Sometimes a starburst is great and it's fun and I love doing them. But I wanted to do a star something, but slightly different. And that's when I remembered, hang on a minute, why don't I do a quilting star? That would work. And when you look at it, see how there's a lot of the foil is in different spots. So this is where I'm just switching out different bits and I'm auditioning, this is where it's all going to go. So I wanted a little bit more gold on there. And then what I decided to do was, once I did that, I was just making sure that I had all the bits that I wanted. And then I realized, stack them up. So here's a little secret. Stack from the left to the right, and then when you put them back down, you start at the right and work your way back to the left. Any pattern that you're doing, anything that I do like this, that's how I work it, because it just makes it so much easier. It really does. It's you've worked out your pattern, you know what you want to do, you've got your pieces in the right spot. Don't just shove them off to the side, because then you've got to work it all out again. You know, that's just double handling. Now, I was one square short because I cut way too many triangles. So I thought, you know what, I'll just whack a black square in each corner. That'll work. So that fixed that. Now, herein lies the problem. Okay, this one was still a little bit sticky, so I just added a little bit more foil. What I use to attach my foil, I have got the oldest bottle of, I think they call it leafing glue, and it's from Montmartre, and I've had it forever, and that's what I use. I just put it down quite lightly and then attach the foil to the top of it, and then just either use my finger, or I hate getting the foil stuck to the end of my finger. That's why I used the brush, because that's just some days I can handle mess and some days I can't. And some messes I can handle a lot better than others. Foil, that's one of those. So I wanted to, what else did I want to tell you? There was something else I was going to say. So I will prattle off the stuff that I've used. So I've used the ANKO brand foil leaf flakes that I got from Kmart. I used the gold ones. They come in a 4-pack and I think they were like $3. Super duper cheap and goes a really long way. However, it's uber messy. Now, I'm gluing down my squares all the way around, and right about here, see, for some reason it didn't add up. And I've ended up with a white gap in there. Don't stress. Don't sweat the small stuff, guys. Trust me, I'll show you how to fix it at the end. So now, there is always, this is something that I wanted to point out to anyone that's new to my channel. Hi, welcome. This is one of my new series for 2023 that I'm doing. I am doing what I call Smash a Pad. The reason I'm doing it is because not everybody has got the room or the space to, in their scrappy space, to buy 12 by 12 papers or 12 by 12 paper pads. 6 by 6 paper pads, they store in a much smaller footprint. You can get sick of them if you're using them constantly, but they're also cheaper. So I wanted to show you several different ways to use the one paper pad and get good results. Obviously, you've got to like the paper pad. Now, something that I was talking to someone about the other day, you've got to like what you buy. I'm going to just start dropping little extra bits of long-term knowledge that I've gained. Something that I want you guys to learn from me, from anyone, but I'm going to say it out loud. Don't just buy paper pads to have the latest of everything. You can only use so much, right? Yes, of course, we would all love to own an entire scrapbooking shop and be able to walk out and grab any paper, any mixed media supply, any of the above, right? But the problem with that is you become tired of looking at the same papers. You become tired of looking at the same mixed media product. They expire. They go hard. They go moldy. They, things that we don't think about when we're sitting there at 10 o'clock at night, filling up our shopping cart and cashing it out. We're not necessarily always thinking about these things. Now, I live in Queensland here in Australia, and we have got humidity that I can't use profanities, but I've got to say I dislike the humidity immensely. I really, 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 really do. Now, that being said, I make sure that when I buy a supply, and especially now I'm on YouTube, I use a supply, use it up. Just use it. Don't try and save everything, because the biggest mistake I've made over the years, and I've been doing this for like 20 years on and off, and the biggest problem that I have found is you save that gorgeous paper because it's stunning and you had to buy it and it's beautiful, or it might be the stickers, it might be the ephemera, it might be the mixed media supply, and you love it so much and you don't want to lose, you want to keep it in your stash. That's what you want to do, right? People call it a stash, I call it a collection. So for me, my collection was starting to become very boring because I wasn't using anything. So this is when I went, nope. This is how I fix it, by the way, FYI. This is how I'm fixing up the gap. All I'm doing, that's a 1/4 inch strip and of 12 by 12 inch paper. I've cut it to a 1/4 inch and that's it. You can't even, it doesn't even look that dramatic, does it? And bang. You've got the little tiny white bit is now dealt with. Made sure I lined that up perfectly. Now there is a piece there. See that white bit? You know what? No one's going through your album making sure it's exactly 12 by 12. I just trimmed a bit off the side and bam. Look at that. You wouldn't know. When people go through your albums, they are not going to be sitting going with a measuring tape. They're not. So don't sweat the small stuff. Now, I did put the photos down here and I realized that I completely covered up my star. And that just really was, what was the point of doing the star if you're going to cover it up? So I trimmed my photos right down so I could see Jen and her shoebox and everything in the photo. And yeah, I just mount them on some white. I did consider doing a white border around the outside because I love me a border. So I was procrastinating on that just for the tiniest little minute. I didn't do it. Okay, so I've gone to my Cricut and I have pulled out my, I wanted to put the offset, I wanted to put that down to see if my title, because I did a long title, which is, I'm renowned for doing long titles. I cut them out of my Cricut. I absolutely love it. And it gives me a unique title because I can pick any font I want. I can do the offset as big or as small as I want. I can do no offset if I want. The world is your oyster. But I wanted to put the offset down just to make sure that I was going to be able to fit the photos, still see the star, and make sure it all still worked. Now, that totally worked, not a problem. I've mounted. I did end up putting mounting my photos, which I haven't been doing that because I print my photos with a white border, but because I cut these photos down, I did want to add it back on there. So it's just kind of like having them stepping up. And then I wanted to, oh, that was really quick. Sorry, I didn't realize it was going to look that quick. This is my gum arabic. I just laid it down there so you can see it. So gum arabic is essentially a sticky solution. I buy it in the powder form. You can buy it in the liquid form. I feel like the powder is more shelf stable. And you mix it up just with a few drops of water. You mix it through, and once you've mixed it all up, that bottle that I've got there has just got tap water that has been boiled in there. So there's no germies inside it. And I just add some mica powder and I put it all over my mat as well. Aren't I a genius? So this mica powder, I bought a large amount of them. I think there was like 38 in there. They're the POPPYCRAFTS ones, and I bought them from Crafts Online here in Australia. And all you have to do is mix the mica powder in with the gum arabic, and bam, it sticks. It doesn't come off, and you get insane glitter shine. It's awesome. This particular gold is the one that I make up in the spray bottle as well. And I love this one. I wish I could just buy just this gold, because in the mica powders that I've got 3 other gold colors, but they're not like this one. This is the color I like. So, and this one actually matched the gold leaf the best as well. So I was really happy with that. So I did that. Now I'm going to sit and go through and just add my letters to my offset. Now, I did want to go back a little bit where I was talking there before. So when you're buying your supplies, when you're stocking up on your supplies, try and think about not so much the photos you're going to use them with. I don't necessarily always scrap an event, you know, like a 21st or a wedding or anything like that. Those things are different. Those things are ones that you specifically buy papers for. Although I don't. I work it around whatever I'm doing. But you can buy, it's fine to buy those things specifically. But when it comes to just having stuff in your collection, try and think about the things in a 12-month block. So only think ahead 12 months. That way, if you live in a hot climate like I do, it's not going to go off. Your product's not going to go hard or anything like that, because you're going to make sure that you've used, if you can only scrap once every other weekend and you're getting one page, maybe 3 pages a month done, well, there's no need to buy 5, 6, 7 different collections in 12 months. There is always new collections. There's always new product coming out. People, Ranger, I'm trying to think of who brings out collections constantly. Echo Park, Cartabella, even places like, Creative Memories and what's the other one? Stampin' Up. Like they always bring out more and more stuff. So my piece of advice is don't go and just buy everything. Buy what you want to use now. If you don't have a lot of space, think about a 6x6 paper pad. Trust me, look what I've been able to create, and you wouldn't think that was a 6x6 paper pad. So I'm just running around it now with some gold POSCA paint pen, and that is adding just a tiny bit more just to break up that black a little bit. And that is it, guys. That is my layout. What do you think? Let me know below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? It's up to you. You let me know what you think. I am going to do a shameless plug because I am doing a giveaway. It will be open to everybody, whether you're in America or whether you're in Canada, whether you're in New Zealand or Australia. It's open to everybody when we get to 1,500 subscribers, and I will be giving back to you guys because you guys have been giving so much to me. I absolutely love this process, and thank you so, so much. If there's any particular items that you have seen on here, I do have an affiliate link in the description below. If you want to click on that, you can go through and to the store that I buy from the most, Crazy Craft Obsession. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.